Sangat Ji, we just all sang a shabad by Bhagat Naam Dev Ji. मैं अजान जान तरबे ना जानूं that I'm ajan. I don't know how to save myself. I don't know how to escape. Continuing from that shabad, we're going to sing another shabad by Bhagat Naam Dev Ji, where Bhagat Naam Dev Ji is saying that Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde, Taar le baap Beethul. Is saying, hey pita mere, hey mere baap, oh my father Vaheguru Ji, Taar le baap Beethul. Save me, O Beethul. This Shabad Sangat Ji is in Marathi. Marathi is a language from south of India. Because Bhagat Naam Dev Ji was born in Bombay. And the name Beethul for God. In Gurbani it's been spelled as Beethul or Beethula. In Marathi, Bhai Khan Singh Ji Nabha in Mahan Kosh breaks it down for us and says that it comes from the word Vitthal. Sangat Ji, the Vava means Gyan, means to have knowledge. So we got the Vava, then we got the Tatta, Beethul. The Tatta means without. And then the Lalla stands for Angikar. And when you put that together, so first you've got somebody that has no knowledge of how to save themselves. Somebody that's a fool. That's what the Babba and the Tatta is saying to us. But then Lalla means, but that's who Vaheguru is. Somebody that's saying that my cleverness cannot get me out of this drowning ocean of greed. But Vaheguru, you are such that when I admit that I'm struggling and I can't get myself out and I'm drowning, and when I put my hands up, then the Lalla comes into play. Then you make me your own. Ang means limb. Then Vaheguru takes us and unites us with Vaheguru. Then Vaheguru comes to save us. That's what Beethul means. That Vaheguru is that one, that when we surrender and say that I'm a fool, that I don't know, main ajan tarbe na jano, that I'm ajan, that I don't know how to do it. I'm obviously failing if I continue to keep going round in these circles. I keep falling into the pit of greed. I keep falling into that pit of anger. I obviously don't know how to save myself. So Sangat Ji, let's sing this next shabad. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde. Somebody messaged me this week saying that I really connect to this shabad, but I see Vaheguru more as a mother for me. And Bhagat Naam Dev Ji referring to God as a father here, Baap Beethul. Said, why did Bhagat Naam Dev Ji refer to Vaheguru as Baap here, as father? Because you know when you're drowning, Bhagat Naam Dev Ji saying, I need that masculine energy, somebody that's got strength to pull me out of that drowning water. If we look at the first pangtiyan, Lob Lahar at Nijar Bajja, Lob Lahar at Nijar Bajja, that these Lahara are of Lob, of greed. But before we go into this shabad, let's sing this shabad. just for us to have an idea first of what Bhagat Naam Dev Ji is saying before we go into it any deeper. Leher means waves. There's these constant waves of greed that keep catching me out. And a lot of you might be thinking that I'm not a greedy person, because I'm pretty good at sharing. And we often think of that typical example that comes forward of, food, all right, food. When there's some food on the table and we think that, you know what, of course I would share my food. If there were those, if there was only a set amount of rotiyan, of course I would share that. I'm not greedy. But Sangaji, greed in Gurbani isn't only referring to those 3 prashade that are on the table, and if you're able to give that other prashada to somebody else. This greed is deeper than that. This greed is in life that constant hope of, if I get that, if I get more, and if I get over there, then I'm going to be okay. Only then am I going to be okay. Only if I get that in my life am I going to be okay. Those are the leheran. Those are the waves. They are constantly coming at us. That's why Bhagat Kabir Ji said that greed is death. Where do you go from there? You can't walk from there. Kabir Ji says that jaha lobh tah kaal hai. That wherever there's greed, there's death. You can't develop. You can't go any further in your spiritual journey, because you're constant chasing something outside. You're constantly saying, but I know I'll be okay if I was to have a child, if I was to get in that position. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to be and having those goals, to have those things in life. But that expectation that I'm going to be fulfilled and I'm going to be content and still, and I'm going to be with Waheguru when I get that, that is the greed that Guru Granth Sahib Ji is talking about. It's if my partner is now like that with me, if my partner starts to speak to me in that manner, then it's all going to fall into place. Then I'm going to be okay as well. You know what they say in Punjabi? Udeek da rafe. Udeek da rafe then means, all right, that's fine, keep waiting. Bhagat Farid Ji says then, we think, you know what, look at them. It's fine to be inspired even spiritually, even materialistically. You see somebody has reached a certain place, they've got a certain something. Even spiritually, you might think, somebody spoke to me in Slough a few weeks ago. She said, I feel so behind spiritually, because all these other people have got so many other bani or cont, they've memorized so much bani. I said, how do you know that they are spiritually advanced just because they've got more bani memorized than you? Where's the measure? Who's to say that they are more spiritually advanced? Even then we look at somebody, and that's great to have as a goal. We can look at somebody and think, look how much bani they've got memorized. But having that expectation, when now I have that memorized, then I'm going to be complete inside, again, that is an illusion. And sometimes people say, can you say that, Baljit Singh? Let's just look at the reality of people that have got so much Gurbani memorized. That doesn't mean not to have so much Gurbani memorized. That doesn't mean don't have a car in life. That just means don't expect that to complete you and when you feel then fulfilled. That is the lob lahar at nijar bajja. So try and understand what Bhagat Naam Dev Ji is saying here. It says, I feel stuck. I constantly keep thinking I'm going to get there, I'm going to get there. And then I see that someone else has got that. Dekh parai chopadi na tarsai jiyo. What does that mean? Let's go through that. Dekh, you see, parai. What does parai mean? What does parai mean, Manpreet? Others, yes. Parai chopadi. You see somebody else and you see their prashadas shining. It's buttered. And you've got no butter at home. And that butter could be so many things for you. You look at somebody else and they've got children, or they've got a certain house, they've got a certain status, they've got something. Dek parai chopadi. And Bhagat Freed Ji saying, na tarsaye jiyo. But don't torment yourself with that. Because sneak into the house, set up a camera, and watch it back, you'll find out how happy they are. Just because they've got those things, it don't mean anything. Right? Don't really go out there and start setting up cameras in people's houses and homes. We'll be in trouble, Raj. We'll be out of a job if somebody did that to us. So, Sangat Ji, I still want to do katha, so please don't set up a camera in my house. Because then you guys will think, oh my God, is that Baljit Singh? People look at, oh my God, like he's doing quite well on Instagram. No, if we was like that, then we'd be alright as well. Na tarsai jiyo. Bhagat Freed Ji saying, na tarsai jiyo. Don't look at that and torment yourself and feel, oh my God, only if I was to get there, then I'll be alright. Because what do we forget whilst we're doing all of this? What is it that we forget whilst we're doing this? Lob lahar at nijar bajje. Kaya dube kesava. I'm drowning. My mind is drowning. What do we forget? That Sajanada. What do we forget? Sajanada mera Sajanada. Nikata khaloida mera Sajanada. Oh look, that Manpreet had to be sacked as well. His little brother's here, now we'll be safe. There you go, look. He's not even sat down and found the shabad. That's how good this one is. Right, so don't now look at him and think, I want to be like that. Right? Na tarsai jiyo. Right, everyone's got a job. His job is to find shabads, and he does it really well. Not everyone's job is to find a shabad. You've got your own roles. Because Rangi, Panti. Alright, let's say these words together. Rangi, Panti, Kar, Jinsi, Maya, Jin Upai. Look, Sangat Ji, all the hundreds of lifetimes of experiences you've had. You've been through so much throughout lifetimes. We've been through so many dunya lifetimes of animals, of different human beings. Ketyan ke baap, ketyan ke bete, kete gur chele hue. Guru Sahib Ji saying, you've been fathers to many. You've got experiences of being a father. Ketyan ke baap, ketyan ke bete. And you've been a child to so many. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Shabad. Because Guru Arjan Dev Ji can see this. Somebody came to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the Sangat would have come to Guru Arjan Dev Ji and said, you know what? And I'm really struggling with my children. And, you know, it's really causing me so much pain. I'm suffering because of the way they are treating me, because of the way they are speaking to me. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji probably said, you've done this so many times. You've been a father so many times, like in which lifetime are you on about, by the way? Because you've done it loads of times. And if you don't escape now, if you allow yourself to keep getting caught in your ego and suffering that identity, you'll be doing it again. Singh, do you want to do it again? And again. And again. And again. That's how it happens though. If we don't learn the lesson from it and escape from it, we'll be doing it again and again and again. Ketyan ke baap, ketyan ke bete, kete gurchele hue. Sangat Ji, this game is huge. But we get caught and we forget. Bhagat Freed Ji says, Aaj milawa Sheikh Freed taakim kunjadiyan manho machindadiyan. Thinking, whoa, what does that one mean? Aaj. So look, Freed Ji is still sitting here within Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And now you've got to be able to hear Freed Ji speaking to you right this moment. So this is Freed Ji saying this to you now, not Baljit Singh. Aaj milawa Sheikh Freed. People came to Bhagat Freed Ji. when can we meet God? When can we meet God? He said, today. Aaj. Like, that's it. It's as simple as that. And they said, nah, it can't be that simple. What's stopping us then? Why do we want to even meet God? Who would like to be constantly, so put your hands up now, if you would like to be in this state, if, only if, who would like to be constantly in a state of being in love, all the time being in love? Right? Look, Sharon Penji's hand was like, whoa, that was fast. She's like, yes. If that's true for you guys, would like to always be in the state of being in love, then you want to meet God today. You want to meet God today? Aaj milawa Sheikh Fareed. So what's stopping us? Takim kunjadiyan. Kunjadiyan, Sangat Ji, means the crows. There's crows that are takim. What does takim mean? Tukdiyan ya sanu idna kardiyan. Right, Rajan, do you do that to your wife with your words? You torment people. The crows are tormenting us. What crows? Out of control, obsessive, compulsive desires. They are not allowing us to know God. They are not allowing us to be in love all the time because we keep thinking it's going to be when we get there. No, trust me, when we get there. Okay, then maybe over there. Over there? Kitthe yaar? No, Sajanada, Mera Sajanada. Waheguru is with us right now. Sangatji, right now, you can close your eyes. We all did Waheguru Guru Mantra Simran together. And we all cried out to Waheguru. And there's something crying out inside of us for Waheguru. Sajanada mahsoos karo. Feel it, experience it. Go inside, behind the noise of your mind that is constantly chattering. Behind all of that, deep inside, is that friend. When you go to that friend, you'll just be in love. Sajanada mera, sajanada nikate khaloida mera. Sajanada, so close, so close. Not outside, not when you get there. Aaj milawa Sheikh Fareed, right now, in this moment. Waheguru is with us all. Just need to step inside. Let's sing this shabad and let's cry out to Waheguru. I want to be with you. Save me. I'm trying. I'm falling apart. I'm falling apart. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde, Taar le Baap, Beethul. Make this into your Ardas. Put your hands together and sing this Anil Beda. I'm sitting in this boat of life, Anil, and the winds of these desires keep catching me out. Anil means the storm. Anil Beda, how kev na sakon. I don't know how to steer. I don't know how to get across. Tera paar na paya Beethula. I haven't been able to get across this ocean of greed and desires to be able to experience you. But you're sitting on the other side. You're just there. You're so close. But what we can do is, we can say, Waheguru, oh Dayal. Be kind to me. Be merciful upon me. Satgur mel tu. Let me truly unite with my Satguru. Just because we're sitting here doesn't mean we've met Guru Sahib yet. You've got to let that bani go deep inside of you. Eh bani jo jio jane. This antar rave har nama. This bani, you've got to allow it to pierce you deep inside. Eh bani jo jio jane. When you know it deep inside. Because there's no difference between bani, Guru, Waheguru, your soul inside. They're all the same. Bani is the same as your soul. There's no difference. But what happens is we don't get to hear our soul speaking to us because we're so disconnected. But if we put bani in deep enough, it'll light that inside soul to be able to speak to us. Let's sing it. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde.
Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde. Taar le Baap Beethla, Taar le Baap Beethla. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde. Sansaar Taar le Baap Beethla, Taar le Baap Beethla. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde. Sansaar Samunde, Taar Gobinde. लोभ लहर अत निजर बाजै, काया डूबे केसवा। लोभ लहर अत निजर बाजै, काया डूबे केसवा। लोभ लहर अत निजर बाजै, काया डूबे केसवा। लोभ लहर अत निजर बाजै, न साको तेरा पार न पाया बीठला अनिल
खेव न साको तेरा पार न पाया बीठला
अनिल बेड़ा हो खेव न साको तेरा पार न पाया बीठला अनिल बेड़ा हो खेव न साको तेरा पार न पाया बीठला तेरा पार न बांधे बीठला नामा कह हो कर बिना जान मोको बांधे बांधे बीठ मोको बांधे बांधे बीठला मोको बांधे मोको बांधे बांधे बीठला मोको बांधे बांधे बीठला मोको बांधे बांधे बीठला मोको बांधे बांधे बीठला बांधे बांधे बीठला मोको बांधे बांधे बीठला मोको बांधे बांधे ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਉਹ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਉਹ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ ਬੰਦਿਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੱਥਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਰਦਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਤਾਰੂ
ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋਤੀ ਜੋਤ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਨੇੜੇ ਆਉਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ, that time is coming close where they are going to be leaving the physical body. This Ardas, at what state, what example can we take from our Guru Sahib Ji's Jeevani, from the lives of our Gurus, of when this Ardas is actually being sung from inside, to saying that main jaan jaan, I don't know how to escape. Anil beda hon khev na sakon, I don't have to steer myself my way through this life. Koi sangat aayi, sangat came to Guru Amar Das Ji, ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੋਨੇ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਵਾਈ ਨੇ ਨਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਬੜੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ both of your son-in-laws, they serve so much, with so much devotion and love. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਭਾਈ ਰਾਮਾ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਭਾਈ ਜੇਠਾ ਜੀ, they said your son-in-law ਭਾਈ ਰਾਮਾ ਜੀ, who was the husband of Bibi Dani Ji, whose name was Nidani, was the daughter of Guru Amar Das Ji. There was Dani Ji and there was Bani Ji. Dani Ji was married to Bhai Rama Ji. Somebody came and said, Patsha Ji, who is it out of these two that is drenched, that has that true love? Guru Amar Das Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ only time will tell. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਨੇਮੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ। Guru Amar Das Ji, they said there's someone that's Nemi and there's someone that's Premi. There's people that start their Jeevan, their path, this walk of life at that stage of Nemi, where they're very disciplined. They won't move an inch from here to there. And Guru Amar Das Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਸ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕਈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਕਹਿੰਦੇ some remain there at that level of discipline only as Nemi, but then there's those that develop to become Premi, who are drenched in love from inside. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, those are the ones that are able to endure when tests come in life. And you know, Sangat gets eager. Kande Pacha nahi dasso. No, tell us. Who is it out of those two that is truly drenched from inside? Guru Amar Das Ji kande sama dasuga. They said time will tell. And Sangat Ji, try and you can bring that image within your minds. This is in now Goindwal Sahib. Some of you may have been to Goindwal Sahib, where there's the Bauli Sahib, there's the 84 steps going down to the Sarovar. And in that place, Guru Amar Das Ji would sit. The Pacha Ji da kende kad kafi shorta siga, they were quite short. And Guru Sahib Ji was quite, I don't know how they, in English would probably, I think the politest way would be they were quite stocky. Right, yeah, I don't know. Guru Amar Das Ji lived a very simple life. Guru Amar Das Ji Paatshah Ji, because this Guru Sahib Ji's Jyoti Jyot today, this Shabad, when is it that this Ardas truly comes alive for us? Guru Amar Das Ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਾਮਿਆ ਜੇਠਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਓ. They called them both, Jetha and Rama, they're both their son-in-laws. You may have heard this Sakhi, but we're going to dive deeper into this Sakhi. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਥੜਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਹਿਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ I want you to make me a stool to sit on. And Guru Amar Das Ji explained how they want that stool to be made. Bhai Rama Ji, and they leave them to make the stool as per the instructions of Guru Amar Das Ji. Bhai Rama Ji makes a stool and Bhai Jetha Ji makes a stool. Guru Amar Das Ji is close to the age of 100 years old. 100 saal di taqreeb umar hai Guru Amar Das Ji di. They come forward and they had a stick in their hand. And imagine now you've spent so much time and effort into making something, into putting something together. And now your Guru is going to come forward, whoever you can think within your minds, in your situations of life, that could be. Within your homes, you've made some food or something or another. You've done some form of seva, you've done something, you've spent the whole day and you're so excited now. That person that wanted you to make that now is going to come and see that thing. Guru Amar Das Ji rocks up with their stick. Smack it a few times. Nahin, theek nahi baniya. It's not right. Bhai Rama Ji goes, no. Guru Sahab, look at it. It's exactly the way you requested for it to be made. It's like that. Look. They said, you know, when you sit on it, when you sit on the stool, they said all the Sangat is going to be able to get your darshan and be able to see you, because his heart is thinking, what do you mean it's not nice? It actually says that. In Suraj Prakash, it says the word Niko means beautiful. Guru Amar Das Ji said it's not beautiful. Sonani, it's not nice. And it's a hard one to digest, that is. You've spent your whole day. He's put his arguments forward. Guru Amar Das Ji is not having it. As he's still talking, Guru Amar Das Ji's walked off. They turned around and said, Ta de no, ta de. They said Guru Amar Das Ji could be very, raw and straight. They said, yeah, smash it. They've walked off as they're saying this. And and we'll be thinking, oh, that's quite rude. At least look at me when you're going to be telling me to break it down. Can you imagine it? Guru Amar Das Ji's walking off, break it. Nah, no good. And then Sangat Ji, they walk over to Bhai Jetha Ji. They looked at it and they're just nodding their head. And they said, nah, theek nahi banaya. They said, you've not made it right. They said to Bhai Jetha Ji, you've not made it right. And Bhai Jetha Ji's put their hands together and they said, Guru Sahib Ji, I've obviously not understood your instructions properly. Sangat Ji, listen to the difference here. Bhai Rama Ji saying, I've made it as per your instructions. Bhai Jetha Ji saying, I've not understood your instructions. And they said, they said, break it, and they broke it. Fair banao, make it again. The second day, when Guru Amar Das Ji comes, they come forward to Bhai Rama Ji again. They said, Bhai Rama, ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣੀ. Nah, it's not working out, is it? He said, Maharaj, what do you mean it's not working out? I says, let me tell you. He's obviously he's probably in sales, and he's going to Maharaj, he said, do you know how much Sangat came to me today and praised how amazing it is? Sometimes we just get stuck there. We just measure ourselves on sometimes this very shallow and false praise that we get from the world. And it's not necessarily what we need. It's fine to be encouraged, but it doesn't mean that's what we need. This Sangat doesn't mean to be falsely praised. Sangat means when you're able to take a hit. There's a pangti if I can remember it, if Lovepreet can help me out. Guru Nanak har naam diradaya, pannan kadan samrat. Sangat ji, if you look at this pankti, and now Ramaji's struggling to take that hit. They're saying that in the house of Guru Nanak, we're giving this naam, but we're given this naam to connect to who? The one that has the power, that Waheguru that has the power to break us down. It's hard to be broken down. Our identities are so fixed and so embedded, we don't want them to be broken. So now somebody challenges us and says, nah. And we're thinking, what do you mean, nah? But they just told me I'm so amazing. And he said, they praised me though. Mard said, he couldn't take the hit. He says, Fatikya, you take their praise, that's fine. They says, but I'm telling you to break it. Guru Amar Das Ji walk away. Sangat ji, he's struggling to break it. And we've all been there, we've done something, and we're so proud of it, but it's still not the right thing. And we find it so hard then to alter it, to let go of it. Sangji, I remember even used to go and do talks in the early days, and you'd spend about 2 days preparing a presentation. You go to a university or wherever you go, you start presenting and they're not interested. And you're thinking, no, you better listen to me. You don't know what I've gone through to put this presentation together. So don't you now look at me blank-faced and tell me you're not interested, because trust me, you need this and it's not working. And eventually you learn, you think, I've got to let go of it. Sangat's not interested. Sangati, how do we know when there's a time when we're doing something and it's still not actually pleasing the Guru? Where from our inside, we're getting even drier, we're starting to be even more aggressive and frustrated to people around us. We're obviously not making that breakthrough yet. People challenge us and we're getting more frustrated. Don't say that to me. Main teri maan lagdi haan. And look, obviously there's a way that we've got to interact with each other, the way we speak to each other. And it doesn't mean that a child can say whatever they want to their parent. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying here is that if we just took that time to listen to them, instead of feeling that my identity is being attacked as this parent, as a father or a mother, or a child even, it could be the other way around. Instead, for a moment, just listen. Listen to each other. There's a lot of talk nowadays about the art of listening, and listening doesn't just mean just allowing their voice to go into your head. Listening means the sunaya that the Guru talks about, sunaya dukh paap ka nas, where our dukh will be cut away. What type of listening is that? It doesn't matter what Rajan is like, doesn't matter what I know of his life, doesn't matter what he's done last week, but when he comes and talks to me, I don't judge him. I listen to him. I connect to him at a deeper level and recognize there's a light inside of him as well. And if he's got caught up in something, that's just because I understand what's happening. It's his ego, and then from that the anger comes in, because when you're trying to protect your ego, now the anger comes in to say, and instead I'm just looking at this play out. I've got this overwhelming compassion, listening with non-judgmental ears, and I'm understanding him, understanding how he got to that anger. And it all makes sense. Because I'm looking at it as this game of this hukam of how it flows and how it folds out, of how the ego traps us. So I'm not looking at him as a whole, that's what you are. I'm not seeing him as now being Mr. Angry. That's not his identity now, but I can just see how he's got caught out with that. Listening to someone like that. How many of us are able to do that with our family members? Just surrender and listen. Just surrender and listen. You're not judging them. To the point where one day you can walk into even work in prisons, and you know that they've done some horrendous crimes, and you can still just listen to them and see, and you can understand how it happens, how it got to that. There's no judge. You're not judging them. Sangat ji, Guru Amar Das Ji, but Bhai Rama Ji struggling. He doesn't want to break it. Guru Amar Das Ji is looking back. Tod de, break it. You've got to break it. He's thinking, oh. He's breaking it, but he's thinking, I was right. I actually got it right. I knew what I was doing. So there's times when we're not actually surrendering to the Guru, and we're struggling with ourselves, we're struggling with the Panj Chor, but we're still saying, well, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and I've got it together, and I'm trying this and I'm trying that. I know what I'm doing. We're not yet surrendering, and we're not yet doing an Ardas. So the Guru's saying, all right, that's fine, you carry on. You carry on. You know what you're doing. You don't need me just yet. You're not ready for me yet. You carry on. When Guru Amar Das Ji got to Bhai Jetha Ji, they said, "Theek nahi banaya." As they said that, they're about to say "Ta de." Before they said it, he starts to break it down. The next day, Guru Amar Das Ji goes again. Bhai Rama Ji is already standing there disappointed. Here it is, I've made it. There you go. He's a Nemi. He's very disciplined. You know, he did things at the right time. He did what he was supposed to do. But yet the inside hadn't become love. So now it wasn't like his hands went together and say, here you go, Guru Amar Das Ji. He's saying, here you go. There it is. Have a look. Guru Amar Das Ji kende, "Ek hi banaya." Now they start smacking it with their stick. "Ette thodo beh hona ya." They're shouting, "I ain't going to be able to sit on this. What's this?" He said, "Maharaj, it's as per your instructions." He says, "Main kya bird ho gaya." He said, "I think it's the old age. You are forgetting what you are telling me." There's that doubt. The doubt comes in even for the Guru at times. We don't doubt ourselves that maybe I'm getting it wrong. We're thinking that maybe what you're giving me doesn't work. Maybe reading Gurbani actually is nothing. It doesn't mean anything. You telling me to read Gurbani, maybe it just doesn't work. Maybe this Guru Mantra, this word Vaheguru actually hasn't got anything in it. Not thinking, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Just thinking, maybe you've forgotten how to do this, what to give me. These doubts come in our mind. Bebe Nanaki Ji was told by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They said, "You remember me and I'll be there." She would sit there like a Nemi, someone disciplined. "You told me to remember you. Here I am. I'm remembering you. Where are you? You're not here." It's not working. But you know what she said? She cried and she said, "Nama kahe, haun tarbi na jano." I don't have to swim. I'm doing something wrong. You've told me what to do, but I don't know how to swim. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm messing up somewhere here. Kabir sacha Satgur kya kare jo sikha meh chook. What do we expect the Guru to do when the shortfall is in us? Kabir ji saying, sacha Satgur kya kare jo sikha meh chook. When the fault is within the Sikh, we start thinking maybe it's what the Guru's giving me, it's not right. Bebe Nanaki didn't think like that. She said, what am I doing where Guru Nanak's not turning up? Sangji, one day she said, you know what? I don't know, I need to just, sometimes you just think, well, I just need to go for a walk. Bebe Nanaki said, I just need to make some roti. I'm going to make some roti. Maybe we'll sort this out later. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Make some prashada for Bhaiya Jairam Ji. Her husband's name was Jairam. She's making the prashada. And those of you that make prashade, you know. Okay, tell me now, put your hands up if your prashada balloons up and your heart wells up and you think, yo, wow, it's happened to me. And you know what? You take it off the tawa, you put it on like just the fire itself. Not the modern day stuff, you get a chemta and do all of that stuff. Right? No, straight off the tawa, onto the actual fire itself. And then it goes like that. And you think, yo, I've made it. Right? This is it. I've made it. And that day, that prashada ballooned up. And Bebe Nanaki said, hi. ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੇਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਆ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦਾ ਛਕਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ. She said, only if today Guru Nanak was here to eat this prashada. संगत जी निर्बाण कीर्तन गावहो करते का निमक सिमरत जित छूटे. It takes a nimak. An instant she turned around and Guru Nanak standing there. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੇਬੇ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ. They said, did you remember me? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬੇਬੇ ਯਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ. ਮੈਂ ਆ ਗਿਆ. ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ. I'm hungry. Could get to that natural state of where it's not technical. Just let go. Guru Amar Das Ji Ji goes the third day and now is walking over. Bhai Rama Ji saying he's losing his mind. He's old. He's forgotten what he's told me. Kende Jetha, kende tenu samjh nahi aaundi, tenu pata nahi lagda, tu sunda nahi meri gall. Why aren't you understanding? Why aren't you getting it right? Why can't you make it right? Bhai Jetha Ji falls at the feet of Guru Amar Das Ji and cries, Kabir, keso keso kukiye, na soye asar. He's crying out with each pore of his body, and he's crying out. He's saying that, Dhan Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Paatshah menu baksha do, forgive me. Guru Amar Das Ji, what type of Guru are you? I continue to make mistakes and you continue to instruct me. How great are you that you're not getting tired of me? Hey mere Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Paatshah Ji, tusi inne bakshand ho. मैं इतनी बार, मैं बार बार मैं गलतियां करी जाना, तुसी बख्शी जाने. ताड़ा हिरदा किन्ना विशाल है. धन गुरु अमरदास जी पातशाह. नमस्तंग udare. Udare means somebody with such a big heart. Sad bakshind, sada mehrwana, sabna de adhari, sab bakshind, forever forgiving. Always. Guru Amar Das Ji कहंदे लै गया ओए. कहंदे look, he's taken everything. He's taken all the hits. But for him, there was nothing to be broken down because there was no ego to take a hit. Kende ot Jetha. Kende swer nu kende nitnem to baad kende saaf kapde pa lai. Wear some clean clothes in the morning. The next morning, Sangat Ji, after Nitnem, Bhai Jetha Ji is down at the Bauli Sahib. And they're still doing their seva. And they used to have a tokri, a basket on their head. A basket they're bringing up out of Bauli Sahib of cement, dripping down their face. Kende Jetha kool aa kende come close to me. Lage hoye kende tokri thale rakh. Put this basket down. Kende chal. Kende takhta utte baith ja. Go and sit on the throne. Put his hands to kende na paatshah ki kende tusi. What are you saying? Na paatshah. No, Satguru Ji takes a step back instead. Kende chal kapde badal ke aa, go and change your clothes, takhtan te baith, come and sit on the throne. Kende tenu Guru Gaddi bakshani hun. We're going to be bestowing the Guruship to you. Na Maharaj, mainu Sikh rehn do. Leave me a sec. I don't want to sit there. I want to stay here. Sangat Ji, Bhagti da rasta, the marg, the path of devotion. Sangat Ji, the path of devotion is such when Hanuman, it's written in Hanuman Natik, Taksal Mahapurkhs they would tell this katha. Hanuman came back because he was sent by Ram to go and see if Sita is safe, to see if she's still alive. He goes and sees Sita. Hanuman comes back and sits at the feet of Raam Chandar Ji. Raam Chandar Ji said, tell me about Sita. Is she safe? She's safe. Ram Ji said, how is she still alive? Hanuman Ji said, put his hands together, how is she still alive? Hasn't she died in the pain of my separation? Hanuman Ji said, she's died from inside. Physically, when death came to get her, there was nothing to take because her soul is in your feet. Hearing these words, Ramji takes off their mala and throws it at Hanuman and said, take this gift. Hanumanji starts to bite the beads on the mala and said, your name isn't in these beads. These beads are no good to me. They laughed at him. They said, you've been given a gift by Ram. They said that he tore apart his chest and all they could see was in each pore of his body was the name of Ram. Ramji said, come and sit with me on my throne, merge with me and there'll be no Hanuman left. And he said, no, don't do that to me. I want to remain a devotee and serve you until eternal. I don't want to merge with you. I want to remain in this pain of separation to always want to merge with you and serve you. So this game is beyond. That devotion, saying to Guru Nanak, Raj na chahun, Mukt na chahun man preet, Charan kamalare, I don't ask for anything but your feet. No matter where I am, I just want your feet. Sangat Ji, all we can do is Ardas. Even if, to whatever extent, even a little iota, a little sesame seed, if you can just give us a bit of Bhai Jetha Ji's devotion, where every moment he was lying there, he was just saying that, Nama kahe ho tar bhi na jano. I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to swim. But what was he saying? Oh Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Paatshah Ji moko baahan de. Beethula, oh my father, oh my Beethula, oh Guru Amar Das Ji, give me your arm. I need your arm. I can't do it without your arm. So Sangat Ji, today we're going to take the arm. We're going to take the arm of Guru Amar Das Ji through the form of Gurbani. Because Gurbani is such, Gurbani has come from Taar, has come from the core. It's come from Vaheguru. If we put this Gurbani inside of us deep enough, that Bani will start pulling us back to our true home of Vaheguru. But you got to listen out for the call. Why do we suffer more at times when we read more Gurbani? Because our life continues the same, and Gurbani is calling us to go back home, and we're resisting it. We say, I was alright before I started reading Gurbani. Now because Gurbani is trying to take you back home, and you're not listening to it, so we suffer. Today say, I want your arm. Baba Gurdev Singh Ji was saying, they said, pata nahi ki patthar dil ban gaya, Bani nu aapa andar vasaunde hi nahi ajkal. Why is it that our minds have become like stone? We're not allowing Gurbani to go deep inside. Today, allow Gurbani to go deep inside of you, but then listen for the call as well from Gurbani. Let's lie, let's not even lie in the feet of Guru Amar Das. Let's lie in the feet of that Sikh in that moment of Bhai Jetha Ji and say to Bhai Jetha Ji, let me truly do that Ardas, because if I do, you will pull me up. I'm just not doing it like that yet. I'm not doing it like that yet. I'm still saying it, I'm alright, I know what I'm doing. Let's do Ardas like that. Oh Sangat Ji, tar bhi na jano, say I don't know how to swim. Because you know when you say I don't know how to swim, the Guru say, then come on then, let me put you in my boat and I got you. I got you. It's got to be surrendered to that extent first. Jai pucha sahagani vahe kinni bati shau paiye. Jo kich kare so pala kar maniya. Oh Guru Amar Das Ji Bhai Jetha Ji is saying, jo kich kare, whatever you're doing is pala. He's obviously good in it. I'll break it. It's okay. Bani will be telling us to do something and we'll resist. Just stop lying. Alright, okay, let me try once more lying and let me try it once more. We get more and more pain, more and more pain. Keep resisting it. It's no, okay, just hands up now. Jo kuch kare so pala kar maniye, hikmat hukum chakaiye. We've got to let go of our cleverness. Just let it go now. Just let it go. Hikmat hukum chakaiye, jaake prem padarth paiye, because I want that padarth of your love. To charni chit laiye, let me focus completely on your charan now. To charni chit laiye, so kaha so kijay. Let me only do what you are asking me to do. Asa parmal laiye, let me fragrance myself with that. Asa parmal laiye, ev kahe sohagni. Bhai Jetha Ji saying to us. Bhai Jetha Ji saying to us, ev kahe sohagni, that sohagni, that true happily married bride to Guru Amar Das Ji saying, ev kahe sohagni, inni bati shaupa. You can have your Guru like this. These are the conditions. Can have your Guru. Inni bati shau paiye. Let's sing Sangat Ji. Let's truly call out now. Really, let's cry out to be saved.
Sanu Rakhee Charna de kol, Charna di mauj badi. Sanu ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਜੀ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਰੱਖੀ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ, ਚਰਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਜ ਬੜੀ। ਮੇਰੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਝ ਬਿਨ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਕੋਇ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਕੋਇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਝ ਬਿਨ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਕੋਇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਤੁਝ ਬਿਨ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਕੋਇ, ਹਮ ਮੂਰਖ ਮੁਗਧ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਗਤੀ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਰ ਸੋਏ, ਹਮ ਮੂਰਖ ਮੁਗਧ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਗਤੀ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਰ ਸੋਏ, ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਰ ਸੋਏ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਰ ਸੋਏ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਰ ਸੋਏ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਹਰ ਸੋਏ। ਸਪਨਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਸ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਭ ਜੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਸ, ਸਪਨਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਸ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਭ ਜੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਸ, ਸਪਨਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਸ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਭ ਜੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਸ, ਸਪਨਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਸ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਸਭ ਜੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਸ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਧੋਂ ਖਾਲੀ ਕੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਰ, ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਧੋਂ ਖਾਲੀ ਕੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਰ, ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼, ਬਿਖ ਭੋਜਲ ਡੁੱਬਦੇ ਕੱਢ ਲੈ, 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 ਭੋਜਲ ਡੁੱਬਦੇ ਕੱਢ ਲੈ, ਬਿਖ ਭੋਜਲ ਡੁੱਬਦੇ ਕੱਢ ਲੈ, ਭੋਜਲ ਡੁੱਬਦੇ ਕੱਢ ਲੈ, ਜਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਕੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ,
ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ,
ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ,
ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ।
ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਇਆ, ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਇਆ, ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਇਆ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਪ੍ਰਤਪਾਲਨ ਲਾਗਾ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਪ੍ਰਤਪਾਲਨ ਲਾਗਾ, ਕਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਾਇਆ, ਕਰੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਾਇਆ, ਕਰੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਾਇਆ, ਕਰੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਕਰਾਇਆ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ,
ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ।
ਜੇ ਕਰਾਵੇ ਸੋ ਕਰਨਾ,
ਜੇ ਕਰਾਵੇ ਸੋ ਕਰਨਾ,
ਜੇ ਕਰਾਵੇ ਸੋ ਕਰਨਾ, ਜੇ ਕਰਾਵੇ
ਸੋ ਕਰਨਾ।
ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾਸ ਤੇਰੀ ਸ਼ਰਣਾ, 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 ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜੀ ਜਾਂਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਤਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, 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 ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ।
ਸਾਰੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ।
ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ, ਪ੍ਰਭ ਡੋਰੀ ਹਾਥ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ। ਰਾਮ ਕਲੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਤੀਜਾ। ਆਨੰਦ ਕੋ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ, ਆਨੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਾਏ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਇਆ, ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਤਾਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੇਤੀ, ਮਨ ਵਜੀਆਂ ਵਾਧਾਈਆਂ, ਰਾਗ ਰਤਨ ਪਰਵਾਰ ਭਰੀਆਂ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗਾਵਣ ਆਈਆਂ, ਸ਼ਬਦੋ ਗਾਵੋ ਹਰੀ ਕੇਰਾ, ਮਨ ਜੀਵ
ਨਿਹਾਲ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
ਦੇਖਤੇ
ਫਤਿਹ।
ਦੇਖਤੇ
ਫਤਿਹ।
ਅੰਤ ਕੀ
ਜੀਤ।
ਅੰਤ ਕੀ
ਜੀਤ।
ਰਾਜ ਕਰੇਗਾ
ਖਾਲਸਾ।
ਰਾਜ ਕਰੇਗਾ
ਖਾਲਸਾ।
ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਕਾਰਾ ਬੁਲਾਵਣਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ